Oh my God, brothers and sisters. Goodness gracious. I'm so glad to be here in this. Finally sharing with you. Kind of late because I've been in the world of arguing about politics, and I truly believe that probably should not. I would encourage myself to not do this. In fact, I would love it to have it be that my stand is when somebody asks me, "What do you think about this or that?" Oh, are you talking about the news? Oh yeah, that thing. I do not do knowing about that. I do not doing knowing about that. I actively am in the process of knowing that I don't know about that. That TV show? You talking about the thing where the people do the stuff and everybody gets angry? Oh yeah, the people, yeah, that one and but the others, you think this about those ones, and you're sure that yours is right too? Yeah, I'm sure. How convenient. All the characters. Uh, Goodness gracious. This one too. He be Joe E. speaking. And remembers when he was a Mormon missionary and thought that it was right. It was an unfortunate need for his country to go to war with Iraq, actually, after the 9/11 thing. Goodness gracious. The chaos is chaotic, eh? Oh my godness. And I just want to say, for fucking goodness sakes, y'all, can we see clearly beyond these scenes of hatred? Can we put it all in a marble and let us see above or through or over the edge of it? Oh my God, here we are, actually outside of it. Yeah. In this heart of forgiveness is where we meet beyond, in the field beyond the field of right and wrong, where we truly be and see each bright and shiny other who in some way innocently doesn't even remember choosing to get to have elbows or a boy body or a girl body, or the problems or privileges or traumas or advantages or opportunities or games they're in. Jaw-droppedly doing the best you can, and if you're doing great, then that's awesome. And if not, then I guess you, that character, I can have compassion for. I understand why you think what you think. It is understandable. Your positions, the things you defend, protect, and stand for. Anyway, A Course in Miracles. This is a course, of course, right? Of course. And a miracle is, the miracles are forgiving dreams in order to lead to scenes that wherein wholeness can be seen through the holes of the film, actually. Holy moly, letting the light beam of forgiveness seeing beyond. I could see that this lesson today is speaking of the world of vengeance. And, if you weren't a Course in Miracles student or reader already, it might be, wow, what a oversimplification of things. And, it's like, the Course in Miracles is kind of like there's like little nuggets in it that contain whole packages that meaningfully unfold and unwind your mind from the time of transgression into transformation of what this meaning is for, is to give clear clarity to see beyond it, through it, underneath it, prior to it. There is a light that is inside it, us, you, me, he, she, we, it, everything that unites the story that I am seeing of the movie. I can say, hey, this is a movie. And the characters in some way can't help it, but they kind of can too, helpfully can, actually. I say this, I know this. What I see is a form of vengeance. That is the lesson for today. Today's idea accurately describes the way anyone who holds attack thoughts, thoughts of attack, in his mind must see the world. And attack thoughts are also defense thoughts, actually, the Course says, and describes why that is true in many ways in the text. And I could understand anyone who says that's an oversimplification, and that's understandable. Moving on. Having projected his anger out onto the world, he sees vengeance about to strike at him. This is so appropriate for today. His own attack is thus perceived as self-defense. See? I'm merely defending myself. This becomes an increasingly vicious cycle until he is willing to change how he sees. I want to see differently. Let me see forgiving dreams. And there are many ways this is symbolically showing up for me. I'm involved in a community wherein there's conversations that were really hurtful to a new friend of mine. And there was a gang up of groupthink against him, so knee-jerk fast. Nobody can understand you. You're psychotic. Like there was this gang up of people who were like, it's obvious. And I was like, bro, like, slow down, yo. Like, it was sisters, actually, and some brothers too, for sure, who teamed up against this man. And I've been so happy to see that he has been able to shine his light through, and it's become obvious that those statements about him, about who he supposedly was, are not true. He is not psychotic. He is actually really wonderful and wise and loving and kind. Anyway, I love those things. I love the times where the dream seems to be made up of meaningless meaning, wherein I'm like, oh no, no, and then it gets to be that, like, oh yeah, connection, brotherhood, sisterhood, joining. Otherwise, thoughts of attack and counterattack will preoccupy him and people his entire world if he's not willing to change what he thinks things are for. What peace of mind is possible to him then if he is preoccupied with counterattack thoughts that will people the entire world of what this is for? Those people and them and us and these and they and you and he and she. Paragraph number 2. It is from this savage fantasy that you want to escape. That is true. You do not want this attack thoughts. Actually, you do not want those. Is it not joyous news to hear that it is not real? Oh, this is a dream, it seems. And salvation is now. The ego of time would have me say it must be in a later thing, taking me out of the moment. And the spirit plays with our strategic self, working with it to have it people our world of happy dreams into people as whole packages of shareable miracle parables, where everything they are about is uncompromisingly felt, seen, and beamed into happy dreams of forgiveness. Is it not a happy discovery to find that you can escape what you made? You made what you would destroy, everything that you hate, and would attack and kill. All that you fear does not exist. This is where there does need to be some context. I frequently mention it in these readings. This is like what you made is made up. What God creates, God creatively creates with you in creation. Lovingly creates you loving. Kindness, kindly. Creation, creatively. And separation, separately. The ego wanted to say, it's just this is the innocence. It's a package of innocence, actually, of the instigation of separation. It's a cool package. It's the first map of A Course in Miracles, which is sort of more like territory, is like pristine logic, which is the truth is true, it's always true. If it is something other than truth that changes to something other than what it is, then what truth is, then that changes to something other than what truth is, which is what? Not true. And that's beautiful, kind of. There's some heart. Oh, holy moly, unlimitedly, truthfully true, without limit. The art of my heart knows this is what even my butt wants to fart. Playfully I speak. It's okay, I can say these things. And the second map, the first map is the truth is true, it's always true. Anything other than it is not true. Or, what was it? Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Not in reality, actually, not in truth in any way. And herein lies the peace of God, the peace of love from above, from within, and under everything. Calling, everything is an extension of love or for love. If it isn't of love, then it's for giving. For giving what? Seeing. Seeing what? The sight to see beyond and through it. Perhaps occasionally, in the practice world, practically speaking, to describe it. Hey, that is the dynamic of projection. You're attempting to project guilt to get rid of it, but actually by doing so, keeping it. Saying, it's not me, it's you. And instead of recognizing all lessons are my lesson, and my is the word I share with you. This is the word you share with me. And that is what everything is. So, into the mind, the second map, into the mind of God. This is where the Course in Miracles in the text says, hey, if you're reading this thus far, your mind and heart likes this, like, stuff in some big way, but also you look around you at the world that you know you believe in, the story of your character, in the scenes of the dream of the earth that you call your world. And you're like, hey man, everything here is threatenable, you know? Like this house even is gonna crumble someday, and the body of my sister died. The temple that was my little baby sister passed away when I was 5. And so I know, you know, the car I ride in could be crushed while I drive in it. Everything in my reality is threatenable. So the Course says, hey, we're telling you things that your mind and heart like recognize, it loves to think, it loves, it thinks is more true than the world you're in some way. And so it's natural for you to ask, okay, if this is all true, then where did the world of appearances appear from? Like, what is its origin story? How did it originate? Like in the Bible, it's like Adam and Eve and the 7 days and the apple and all that jazz, or something like that. So the apple, in this case, in the Course in Miracles, is kind of like the tiny mad idea. So this is the way, the origin story of how the Course says the world of appearances appeared to appear. It goes like this. And it says it's a metaphor, and it reminds us as it goes. Right now, I remind us. U.S. All of yous. Every U. Double U is we, which is me, upside down, or the other side of reality. Behind your periphery of all the things, there is one thing that we share in heart, actually, which is the light of love. So anyway, into the mind of God. This is how the world of appearances appeared to appear. Into the mind of God, where all is one and always will be one, there crept a tiny mad idea, at which it forgot to laugh. And I think it actually says at which it remembered not to laugh, which may have some specific distinction, but I haven't quite found why in my creative mind that would be such a wonderful thing. Compared to how I know earlier in this thing, it is wonderfully fun that Spirit had me say, even my fart, Playfully now, playfully, hey, lightly, lovingly, with gravity lands in time the transformation of what I am is. So into the mind of God there crept a tiny mad idea at which it forgot to laugh, which was, yeah, but what if there was something other than the truth against the prime directive? All there is in reality is unlimited truth, unlimitedly true. And then the world of things that ought, thoughts, things that ought to be. But shouldn't there ought to be something other than what is? This is a shit disturbing, mischievous mind. It's not like horrible, it's innocent, and it has its effects. This is the filter the mind put over its face to see, but what would that look like if it was other than it is? If there was something opposite, opposed, against? It would look like chaos, actually. It would look like meaningless meaning. It would look like communication that doesn't connect. It would look like things that aren't connected. It would look like the beginning of separation. So that is making up. You made what you would destroy, everything that you hate and would attack and kill. All that you fear does not exist, actually, except in the movie scene on the screen, except in the tiny marble of your mad idea, actually. Look at the world about you at least 5 times a day for at least a minute each time as your eyes move slowly from one object, one sight, one seeing, one thought to another, from one body to another. Say to yourself, I see only the perishable. I see nothing that will last. What I see is not real. What I see is a form of vengeance. See, that last one, it seems like such a jump to a conclusion, and it's so kind of intense for the mind to take and to accept. And at the beginning of the workbook, it says, hey, you don't have to believe these things. In fact, you will actively find resistance against them. And I find resistance against that while I share it with you now a little bit. At the end of each practice period, ask yourself, is this the world I really want to see? The answer is surely obvious. Do you want to see beyond your fears? I bet I know you do. I know you do. I know you would love to be wrong about all the things you think you fear. Okay, I love you.